So today we are going to learn about cover the past tense, the preterite, okay, of some irregular verbs that are just different. In English, pretty much we have irregular verbs as well. In English, when we have irregular verbs in the past tense, what do we do? Anyone remember what do we do? We don't put the ed at the end, right? You say play, I played. But there are some irregular verbs that we just simply don't do ed. They're irregular. They're just different than others, okay? Now, in Spanish, the irregular verbs in the past tense are few. There are 5 of them, and these are it. But before I show you which ones is estar, poder, poner, saber, and tener, and what they mean, let's go over the essential questions, okay? How do you form the irregular verbs in English? In Spanish, what verbs are irregular in the past tense, and how these verbs are irregular? Using the verb estar, how do you say I was? Using the verb poder, how do you say poder means to be able? I was able. Number 5, using the verb poner, how do you say you put in the past tense? Using the verb saber, how do you say he knew? Saber is to know. Using the verb tener, which is to have, how do you say they had? And number 8, using the verb estar, how do you say she was? Remember, estar means to be. And estar is used to express things that change opinions or location, how you have someone feels. Using the verb poder, which is to be able. How do you say I couldn't do it? And number 10, using the verb estar, how do you say they were in Ponce? In Ponce. Ponce is in Puerto Rico. So again, estar, to be. Okay, one of the two, right? This is the one that is, well, the other one is also irregular. Poder is to be able, to can. Poner is to put. Saber is to know. And tener is to have. These ones, what they have in common is that they use the same endings, okay? The endings that you see right here in the past tense, but they don't have accents. In the yo form, in the yo, which is right here, and in the él, ella, and usted, there's no accents in the past tense. So the difference is that each stem right here is different. Estar, there's a change, there's a stem change right here. You keep the beginning, the first 3 letters, but when you get to the second part, UV, you have a change. So when you say I was, you use how you will say estuve. You were, estuviste. Él, ella, and usted, sorry, no usted, but usted, will be estuvo. Nosotros estuvimos. Ellos, ellas, and ustedes estuvieron. And obviously vosotros estuvisteis. Estuvieron. Would be for ellos, ellas, and ustedes. So that's what you have to do, okay? You just keep some part of the stem in each verb, and then you will just add the same endings. They all share the same endings. Poder is to be able to say, I can, I was able to, I could, yo pude, tú pudiste, él, ella, and usted pudo, ellos, ellas, nosotros pudimos, Ellos, vosotros pudisteis. Ellos, ellas, a ustedes pudieron. To place, to put, poner. So you change the N and the ER, you get rid of it, and then you substitute it with an S. So it will be tú, yo puse, tú pusiste, él, ella, and usted puso, ellos pusieron, vosotros, nosotros pusiste, nosotros will be pusimos, vosotros pusisteis. Now the verb saber is to be able, to know. So the supe, I knew. Supiste, you knew. Supo, he knew, she knew. Nosotros supimos, we knew. Supisteis, you all knew. Supieron, they knew. And tener is, again, the end is I had, yo tuve, tú tuviste. Remember the two has an accent. Oh, put another in this one, sorry. Tuviste, el, ella, usted tuvo. Nosotros tuvimos. We had. Ellos, ellas, ustedes. Well, vosotros tuvisteis. And ellos, ellas, ustedes tuvieron. So these are the verbs that are irregular in the past tense. They have a change in the stem and they all share the same endings and they don't have accents, okay? Now, one thing that you gotta remember is that the verb saber, which is this one right here, supe, supiste, supo, supimos, that one usually has a different meaning in the preterite past tense, okay? It means to find out. So for example, I found out the truth yesterday. How would you say that? I found. So it would be yo, the verb saber, right? Which would be this one. Yo supe la verdad ayer. O ayer yo supe la verdad. I found out. That's what it translates to, okay? Now, knowing these, let's, anyone who would like to do this one, Carlos and his family. Now we have Carlos and his family, which makes a group of people that does not include yourself, so that would be them, right? They. How would you say they were in San Juan, Puerto Rico? Now we're using were because as in location, right? So we will be right. Go ahead. Carlos and his family were in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So Carlos y su familia, su means his, su familia were. How would you say were? Estuvieron, correct. Estuvieron en San Juan. Puerto Rico. Okay, right here, estuvieron is the part that is the past tense. They had technical difficulties with the internet, like how we are suffering right now, right? And the verb is tener, right? So what would be correct? Ellos tuvieron technical difficulties. Now remember in Spanish, the adjective goes dificultades técnicas after. Con el internet. Okay, so since we are suffering technical difficulties too, I am going to let you guys complete the activities 5, 6, 7, and 8 from pages 174 and 175, okay? And also turn in your essential questions. Again, let's go over the essential questions, see if anyone would like to answer. I give you guys points. How do you form the irregular verbs in English? Raise your hand if you know the answer. Go ahead. Yeah, you just add ed, right? But how do you do it in irregular verbs? Just change it, right? Correct. 5. In Spanish, what verbs are irregular in the past tense? And how are these verbs irregular?
Estar,
Poner, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Hacer, they're irregulars too.
And they're irregular because their stem changes whenever they're conjugated in the past tense rather than the normal just set of preterite conjugations.
Correct. And they don't have accents.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. 5 points to you. 5 points to you as well. How would you say number 3? I was using the verb estar. Go ahead. Yo estuve. Correct. 5 points to you. How would you say I was able? Or I could. Pude. Yo pude. Yep, that's correct. 5 points to you. How do you say I put it? I put it. This is I made a mistake here, right? This is because the verb to put is irregular. You don't do ed. Would you believe me if I tell you that I did this on purpose?
No. Potentially.
Thank you for not contemplating that stupidity, right? No, I did not do it on purpose. I made a mistake. And that's easy, right? To make mistakes because they're irregular. How would you say that in Spanish? Yeah, but it would be you, right? It would be. Tú pusiste. Right, 5 points to you. He knew. How would you say he knew? Now the verb is saber. I'll give you 10 points. With an E. El supo. Correct. Muy bien. 10 points to you. That was a tough one. Good. Sounds like soup, right? El supo. Muy bien. They had. Verb tener. Ellos.
Is it
tuvieron. Correct. Very good. All right, guys. So you guys have the rest, okay? On activities 5, 6, 7, and 8 in pages 174 and 175. Okay. This is for the irregular verbs in the past tense.
Can you keep those up there now?
Yeah, I'll keep them up.